Hello gang, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Workers and Resources and the Soviet Republic. Last time around I decided to try and compensate for my ill placement of various manufactories by putting this rail line in down to a separate. You can't kernel cam very quickly on it, very smoothly. The thing that you can't do, you can't. So I put this train line in to activate this new warehouse, which has already assimilated quite a few crops. Attaching to this will be, in today's episode, a food factory and probably a distillery. I say probably because I don't know what else it could possibly do. Anyway, once we've got that done, I'm hoping to be able to send stuff back into the same warehouse again, where it can then be picked up and shuttled off to the border. Won't that be nice? Yes, it will. Stick around. We'll make it happen. Now then, before we get to any of that, we're going to have a quick look at the farmland situation. We've got a good amount of acreage going on, but what is incredibly evident is that actually we don't have an awful lot of stuff kind of produced and active and so forth. So this one's being resown. In fact, if I were to just go straight to the whatnot, that's a fire station. It's not the same thing. You want the farm, probably that. Right, what do we got? So they're all at varying stages of growing. I wonder if there's any crops left to be picked up from any of them. We'll try a couple. There we go. You've got 0.38 of a ton there. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll sort us right out. What do we got there? 0.4 of a ton. 0.2. Oh, dear me. 0.1. Point not a lot. No point. Yeah, pointless. Those of you who are suggesting, dude, farms more, you're absolutely bang on the money, and I'm going to do dude, farms more pretty soon, because if anything, I'd quite like to be to become a real powerhouse industrial sector. And to do that, I'm going to have to ramp up the amount of crops being produced so that the amount of cattle being fattened and then subsequently turned into all beef patties can be done at a slightly swifter rate. But there we go. We've got what do we got here? 1 and a bit tons of meat in the cold store. What's your problem? What do you need? You need livestock. Oh, I see. Because you're not actually exporting from the cold store. So what are you? There we go. We've got 33 tons of meat that is just sitting. I'm making all of this meat and then doing nothing with it. That's nice. I should probably set up a little van to go deliver to my various store places. I mean, it's only going to save a very minor amount of money, or I could just export it, I suppose. But anyway, that's not the focus of the adventure for now. The focus of the adventure for now, firstly, as always, we're going to bulldoze ourselves the power line. Remember to put it back in. I always remember. No, you don't. Be quiet. Right, okay, that's that done. And I have paused as well, just so as you know. You haven't got power. No, you haven't got power. And yet you're still going. Batteries, mate, batteries. And we've got a wind turbine on the top. So if it's a breezy day, we can still go. Right, so here we're going to fling up, first off, the food factory. And I had a quick measure up beforehand, and what I'm going to try and do is stick it rather like that. I'm really hoping I can get both sides to talk to the warehouse using the little conveyor belt kind of doodahs. I know it's a dude on a forklift truck. Whatever it is, I want to be able to use that. I don't want to slang it right up close like that, because I do want to get another train line in there. So about that kind of gap would be ideal, but I've got no way of knowing whether or not that's too far. I don't think it is. I think that's probably well within range. Now you might go, well, you've got the road round the wrong end of that. I kind of go, yes and no. Anyway, get it built, because next door to that, assuming it works, I'm going to wait for that to complete building, is we're going to be sticking the distillery with the road out the same end, and that needs to talk to the yard as well, because these are the two that are actually going to be consuming most of the crops and turning it into exportables. then I'll run a road round to go drop the booze back in, because these conveyors apparently don't work both ways. They'll work one way or the other way, but not both. So the reason I want 2 here is crops out and then food back in. No, I don't know if that'll work either, but we're going to give it a go anyway. And then I'll build another housing estate out here, whack a bus line in so that people can commute to get food and shopping and schooling and all of that kind of stuff. What I've kind of figured out, and I'm probably still off market there, is, you can unpause, is that people will commute for products and leisure and services, but won't commute quite so willingly to go and do a job. So we're going to do it that way around and see how we get on. If I'm wrong, I honestly don't care. But that's how I'm using it. It's not too sharp a turn. No, it's too sharp a turn, because this is horrible. And there's nothing I can do about that either, because you've got to build it all in one move. Oh, what a load of rubbish. Oh, well, that's very annoying. You'd have thought it'd get round there. Okay, well, not to worry. I guess it is what it is, what it isn't. As long as this can get grain automatically from the warehouse, we're in business. Let's get the distillery up as well, and then I can stick the power back on. That's all right. We're in a Soviet Republic. People are very used to not having power for extended periods, and given everything, I'll stick that pretty close. There's a pylon growing mysteriously there. It's okay, it's just a shadow. Is it, though? Is it? Don't get it too close, otherwise you're going to be telling it to... It's annoying you can't figure this out in advance, you know. Right, give me that, and then some of this, and then I need a bit of that, and then some of that. Good. Alright, okay, that's moderately how I wanted it. I think we'll describe that as 70% successful. Next job, put the power back in. Otherwise, you are going to be without power, and that will make people sad. Hold on, do you want to do it in this order? No, I don't want to do it in this order. What we're going to do first, we're going to stick a road in, which I've got mapped to 2, because I'm some kind of mapping person. Right, do that. Yeah, do this. Do some of that, and then off we trot. Right, around the corner here. That's all good. We'll head down to the... Oh, hold on. Wasn't there some talk of putting a rail line in there? Yeah, I know. But if that causes us grief, we'll stick it in again. So the rail line should be able to cleanly cross the road there. I would have thought that wouldn't be too much trauma. And then we'll stick another road in there, so we've got easy access to the other side of the warehouse. And it's night time again, so we can't see what's happening. Right, the odds of us getting any workers, pretty remote. But that's okay. We'll worry about that in a minute, because we're not in any great hurry. Nobody's starving. And you want to charge me 10k for that? Flipping Nora. It's like they saw me coming. And then connect up onto there. There we go. Right, that should be lights back on. Anybody doing a disco this evening? That you 3 have got lights off. Causes me some concern. Oh no, it's fine. They're empty. I'll tell you what though, they won't be empty for long. Let's buy some immigrants. There we go. 10. Let's buy some more. 20. And the lights come on. Same here. Yeah, I'm prepared to pay the money because, well, I am. We'll put third world immigrants on that one because they're less fussy and therefore they're quite happy to live out on the periphery of it all. Good. Okay, this all looks... Well, it looks as designed. So next up, what I'm going to do is we're going to grab the level terrain height from center tool map, turn that off, come over here, and where's my level mark? Probably about there. All right, ramp the whatnot up to max Q, and then let her have it. That's it, because we're going to stick some more housing in here, and then work on making sure they've got the connectivity they require in order to go and have a prosperous life in all of the prosperous bits that I've built. Now, I only need enough people to work in these 2 factories, strictly speaking, but I'll possibly also set up a little shop here at least, so they can have the goods that they have struggled so hard to produce on behalf of the Republic. At least that's the plan right now. The plan's likely to evolve. By evolve, I mean, you know, be scrapped entirely and we do something else. But you know, you've got to go with plan A before you can move on to plan B. Otherwise, plan B is effectively plan A, and you might as well not have bothered having a plan A in the first place and just call it plan B. A new vehicle type is available. Is it a train? It looks like a train. Okay. Well, at the moment, that doesn't excite me terrifically. So what's going on here? It's level terrain average, height from center. You seem to be mutating my landscape again, rather than just... No, see, look, you've just put a lump in that. Stop it. Work from center. That does not look like you're working from center. It looks like you're building a flaming hollow. Although that could just be... Turn the wireframe on. No, you see, look, you've just built an indentation. Oh, yeah, well, we couldn't change those bits. Right, so... Well, we didn't want to... something. Well, don't... Alright, okay, let's go with that and see if we can get enough in there. Give me construction, give me Heising. Heising, please. Heising. How often do you press these buttons? Oh, hush your mouth. Right, how many people can we have in this one? 189. Lovely. We'll pay the money for this one. Fling it around. And frankly, I'm going to give them nothing else to do. The 189 I ought to possibly measure up how many workers we actually need for this to be fully whatnot. And everybody wants high tension wire running through their front garden. There you go. Yep, that's good. Have that one, and then we'll stick another one next door as well. Yeah, I'll pay just to smooth out the last bit. There you go. Go on. Excellent. Right, and then, true to my word, I'm going to stick a bus stop in there, and it's going to have a fairly straightforward existence. This bus stop. Where do we want to stick it? On the corner, maybe? Well, anywhere you can. Anywhere it will let you, basically. All right, stick it in there. That's ugly. Trees, mate. Trees will sort that out. Don't worry about it. Don't even bother yourself. Right, sling a road up to do something like that. No, to do that. To do this. To do... No, there's too much hill. Well, you see, when I flattened this, I hadn't intended there to be any hill at all, you see. Now, if you get with the program, that'll be good. If you don't get with the program, however, you're just going to have to live without having a road. If I can get a path in... Apparently, fire trucks will use a path. So we'll work on that. I'm doing this from a terrible angle if I want this to not look completely horrendous. But things looking horrendous are kind of my jam. Right. How are we looking there? Adequate. I don't know where all these jokers think they're going, but they're very keen to get there. So we now want to find a reasonable... So right there would be good. So a reasonable municipal bus stop. Now then, go find my vehicle depot. That's open storage. Yeah, I know. I don't recognise what things look like yet. You're just gonna have to get over that. That's a vehicle depot. Oh, you are very very wise, sir. Buses, right? Minibus, I don't think is going to cut it. I think we need something a little bit more severe. 40 passengers ought to do the trick. Although 52 is even better. 80, however, is better still. Crikey, you'll get 80 on that coach. Crikey, talk about ramming them in there. Yeah, we'll have it. Yeah, I care not one fig for their comfort. Right, you, come here. Right, stop number 1 is the overzealous butt platform. It's not really the same thing, is it? Then stop number 2 is overzealous butt platform small. Okay, off you go. Right. And then whoever's on board there will undoubtedly not figure it out for themselves, and I'll end up having to build some of everything because they'll go, oh, we haven't got access to this and that and the other. Power. Okay, well that one is somewhat on me, I suppose. Did I do my usual and imported them from somewhere else? Yeah, I spread them out from other buildings that I'd already got. There we go. We'll bang in a couple of immigrants and get that rolling. Right, let's build a substation out near here. Thank you, autosave. Power transformer, high voltage power transformer is the wrong button. You have to go to this one, then that one, then this one. Substation. Standard. That's for sure. Guess we're going to need another switch in here. I would have thought, by the looks of it. Okay, right. Well, look, I'm going to bang that in there because that's got access to everything that needs it. And then we'll do the same again. No, I'm sorry, everybody. Someone hasn't got power. Yeah, they're ruining it for all of you. We're turning all of the power off because someone hasn't got any power. Right. Yeah, do it like that. Yeah, that's good. Right, connect you to this bit. You, this bit. You, this bit. There you go. You, this bit. That's it. And then my power transformer can sit in here. Need to flatten the terrain. I can make that happen. And then, of course, we've got a little bit more breathing ground for further construction. There's obviously some good lumber to be had here, but I wonder if there's maybe a quarrying opportunity in the hillside. That said, even if there is, I probably won't use it just yet because I'm more interested in spreading out to new lands. Continuing the route into the interior of the country, and we'll see how we get on. Right, we should now have some action here. We've got food in the warehouse ready for export. You're consuming it readily enough. How about you? We're making booze. That's good. Now, has the booze? Is it transferring back again? No, it's not. Well, yeah, because you do take booze and you do take food. So obviously these do only go one way, regardless of what these happy-go-lucky little arrows want to tell you. They only go one way. That's fine. I'll use a truck. I mean, it's a terrible way to proceed with things. That said, what if I were to limit the amount to, let's go for 207 on that. No, let's go 216. Now, the train itself will stop running eventually. Chemicals, don't need chemicals. Fabric, not going to do fabric here. Alcohol and food, that's your lot. So if we turn this lot off, how much are we getting on those two? No, not 85. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. 198. In fact, let's go even lower than that. 150. There you are. Right, and then you've got 21% each. You can go a bit more than that. That's it. No. Kill that. Kill that. Remember what I've set you to. Stop giving it back to Johnny Crop Shadow, or whatever his name is. There you go. 50%, please. I'm almost there. There you go. Do that. Take one more off there. Put it back on again. Off again. Put it on this one. Put it on here. Flipping. Just, will you? Is that, will that do it? Yeah, that's near enough. It's not quite enough. It's quite as much as I wanted. Right, now that that's set, we shall set up a quick truck line. Do we want to do one or two? One will be sufficient. Go find the depot that you can never remember what it looks like. The ideal is covered hull, I suspect. Food and booze is your watchword. Oh yeah, that'll be lovely. 3.5 tons versus this little tiddler. Yes. Now I always go with this Skoda. I like the Skoda. It's seems to have the right amount of haulage for the job at hand. It's not very quick though. Let's go with this Fazuk, the Fazuk AO7. For those of you who are familiar with such things. Right, grab that. Now I know its capacity is like it's not even lively. Its capacity is woeful, but it's going to be here and back very, very regularly. No, not that. Do this. Click the button. There you are. Right, go here. Load it. Go here, unload it. Go here, here, there you go. Unload it. Right, get to work, and then I'll tweak your route while you're en route. Thank you. Right. Now, from the distillery, spookily enough, I don't want you loading crops. Loading crops to take back to the warehouse from whence you got the crops in the first place really doesn't do us anything. Then you can unload whatever you like, and then from here, no, unless those are kind of executive baguettes. I don't believe they are. And then we'll whack that there. Good. Right, okay, now that should then set us up with some stuff that is ready for export. How cheerful are you people? You can't do culture, you can't do church. Well, you're tough about church. Can't get food or meat or you haven't figured out how to go and get shopping, have you? You just haven't. Okay. Well, we've only got 20 passengers waiting now, despite the fact the bus is running. I guess we dropped them all off. How are you getting on? No. They are decidedly unhappy. I'm going to need to build a ruddy shop for them, which is typical. Alright, well, it is that life is what it is. No, it doesn't live there. It always used to live there, I'm sure of it. Just get them a grocery store. But they're going to be miserable, and they're going to be complaining the entire time because they can't figure out how to use public transport to go and buy a loaf of bread. We are so hungry, Yuri. I know. If only there was a grocery store somewhere in this land. Well, there is one. It's 5 minutes away. If only we didn't have to walk there. There's public transport. Yuri does not take public transport. That's the conversation. But in which case they deserve to die. Well, that's harsh. They deserve to go hungry. There we are. Do some of that. Right. Have a shop. Why is the voltage doing the hokey cokey? Well, it's usually because we're under voltaging. Is everybody doing the hokey cokey? No, you're rock solid. That means we are overcharging the local substation. Yeah, there we go. Overcharging the local substation. So a secondary local substation would be of benefit. All right. Well, I've got enough room coming off me whatnot here. So let's do that. Sling this one out in the back garden. Yep. And then obviously have it facing the right way. Helpful. Fling some power at it. I'm pretty certain those high power lines are distributing enough for this to work. Right, let's see how that worked. Now, you, better, but not 100% fixed. You, same deal. And how are we doing? Alright, it's better than it was. It's still a little bit off kilter, but it's near enough. These people need someone working there. Let's whack some paths on, because that will help. Because obviously it will. All right, don't do it. No, don't do it. Do this. No. You can look. It's difficult enough to get these paths to look anything other than ruddy awful. The least you can do is let me connect up to them. There you are. Right, we'll connect these two together, despite the fact it doesn't work. I do read the comments, you know, even if I don't abide by them, I at least read them. Let's do that. Let's do this, just in case anybody from the other neighbourhoods wish to come and work here. I'm more than willing to allow them to do so. Right, there you go. That's there we go. We've got some action there, and you come that way. You connect onto there. That's it. Now I just need this to do something of any kind of useful fashion at all. No? Alright, go around the back. There you go. Right, that should sort that out. Yeah, why not? Okay, good. So, here's the scheme. Because that is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. And furthermore, dramatically, it's going to lead to a point where... Hold on, why are they ticking up now? These would appear to be ticking up of their own volition when Captain Truckosaur is nowhere to be found. Are you draining? You're not draining. Alright. How's this going up automatically? Self-replicating stuff in the warehouse. That's the only answer. Yes, no, that's going to lead us to the end of the episode. And more interestingly than that, interestingly is maybe an exaggeration, but more than that, it's going to lead us to a break in this series. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue developing this in my own time, because I feel like it needs a bit of an injection of forward momentum. So I'll probably play double-digit hours to get this rolling forward, and then we'll come back to it in a few weeks' time, and you can see how we've got on. In the meantime, there are other distractions on this channel with which one may become distracted, and I invite you to become distracted by them. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back soon with more of the same. Well, I won't be back with more of this, which is the same as I'll be back with something else, which is still delete this message. Can't have envelopes lying around. Right. Yeah. Anything else? No. Cheerio. Yes, taking a bit of a hiatus from the series just for a little while, purely so that I can jump ahead a little bit more. Feels like it's become stuck in a bit of a slow progress and rebuilding the same stuff over and over again. So I want to get to the point where I've actually got something interesting going on to develop from, and that point will probably be around the same area as when the nation overall starts making a generalized sort of a profit, and hopefully with that done, we'll be able to progress onto something slightly more interesting. Anyway, it will be back, and we'll be picking up from where we left off. And you never know if the dev team have got themselves some action on the go there that will have some new features to play with as well. So there you go. Anyway, there's more stuff to watch. Go watch some of that. That'll be good for you. I bet money. No, I don't bet money.